Hello and welcome to this little intro to the energy art workshops. I'm so pleased that you've chosen to embark on this journey because that is what it is. So I'm going to go over a little bit here just what energy art is at a very basic level, how it became what it is, who I am and how I developed this as a technique, as a healing and transformation technique, and how I can therefore transfer those skills and knowledge to you in a short workshop. It's taken me many years, 30 years, to develop this into what it is today, and you will benefit from that through not only my knowledge and experience, but also through the energy and light codes that are in my field that I'm going to share with you through this process. And that is what enables you to then be able to, whilst working alongside me through the workshop videos, harness enhanced energetic space and enhanced perception to access your own guides and bring through the artwork together while we're in that group energetic space. So first, a bit about me. My name is Tracy Robbins. I'm a energetic, multidimensional, empathic healer, light language channel, and I do channeled healing artwork. I bring channels through in transmissions on YouTube about the Ascension, about twin flames, about collective energies, spiritual development, aligning to your soul purpose. All of those are also included in my artworks. These artworks have healing effects, and though every creator that creates anything has their energy in their creations, that if you're empathic or sensitive, you can perceive that or feel that, and even on subconscious levels we can pick that up. But when it is extremely enhanced with energy via certain processes that it's gone through, energy that's been put in it around a certain situation, it contains keys and codes that your being can understand unconsciously and shift to align with. It works for both the creator and for anyone that comes in contact with the creation. So let me tell you a little bit about how this has evolved, and that will give you some more understanding. I discovered energy healing initially through feeling energy in the palms of my hands when I was driving past an accident. I only just got my driver's license, and energy in my hands started getting stronger and stronger. And I didn't know why. Then I passed an accident on the side of the road. It was very strong at that point. And then as I passed the accident and got further away, the energy got lighter and eventually dispersed. That experience then inspired me to investigate energy healing, what it was and how I could work with it consciously. I found my way to Reiki, which I think is really, in my understanding, the closest thing to natural transfer of energy coming through my hands that I was already experiencing. So I moved very quickly through the levels of that. If you don't know what Reiki is, it is a healing modality that was channeled in by a man called Dr. Yusui. And he was asking how to heal directly from spirit, and downloaded from spirit several symbols that contained healing codes or healing formulas that he could consciously use by drawing them and repeating the sounds that came with them. Although after using that and developing it for a while, it wasn't necessary to consciously do it because they were inherent in your system. As you move through the levels of working with and using those different healing processes, some of them uncover remote healing that enables you to work at a distance and send healing across space and time. There are various ways of doing this, and sometimes people found it easy to use a teddy bear or something like that to as a surrogate, as something to focus on as the healing client. Work on the teddy bear as if it was the person in front of them. So using their hands over the teddy bear, being shown by the healing guides various different points on the teddy bear that needed healing, feeling the energy go into the teddy bear at that place, and then using the symbol to send it remotely to that person. And there's a lot of learning around all these things. Eventually become inherent in your system, but the whole way through, from the beginning to the end, from the first time you get a Reiki attunement from your Reiki master that opens you up to the ability energetically to do these energy transfer and this energy healing, whilst giving you all the knowledge, you are introduced to your healing guides. And these healing guides teach you, and you develop listening skills, how to listen to those healing guides. You build up a vocabulary with them, and it's a very personal form of teaching that you gain. Then you might learn things beyond what you were taught by your Reiki master and span into other categories and other skills and other dimensional levels that are specific to you. One of the ways that this developed for me was that instead of using some kind of surrogate like a teddy bear to send energy via distance, and I could also do this just by sending it across time and space to that person on the other end of the phone, or not on the other end of the phone, just thinking of them, using a photo, anything like that. But instead of doing that, what I wanted to do was to get more information, build up my vocabulary with my guides. I started to draw the answers. I found that it would just come through in a pen on paper, and then I would get visual information, which was very, very informative. And though I was using my other senses as well and getting colours, seeing guides, getting words, getting sounds, getting song lyrics, all sorts of different ways of communicating via my higher senses knowings, I found that there was so much information that was able to come through this writing on paper that I could then heal that with my hands and with the guidance from the guides very quickly and easily, in a way that I could also explain to the healing recipient what had changed. And what I would find was, after I'd done the Reiki and the healing as guided and channeled, on the drawing, I was then guided to draw it healed, and then I could see what had changed and what had repaired. That was also a way of reassuring the recipient what had happened. The next stage from that was that I noticed the drawing itself contained the keys and codes. So where I had said that there was, the more you practice something, it comes into your energy field, it becomes available to you as a tool. So the more you would use a symbol, the more it just becomes inherent within your system, and it just comes through you whenever it's needed without you having to consciously use it. And it would become more and more powerful as its power was amplified in your system. This is what happened with the drawings, is that each drawing contained stronger energy. All the entire healing of that person was held. The entire session, the power of that and the effect of that was held in the actual drawing. They were already healed, but it could be used for other people that had similar issues. So then, if we actually have a more collective intention as a healing for a group of people or a particular healing formula that we're trying to create. An example is clearing all low vibrational energy from your environment, harmonizing you to your environment. That's something that's relevant to a lot of people. I could have that intention and draw it. So it's about this time I found my way very, very guided and pulled to an art class. I was using soft pastels, and I immediately, it's like it opened a gateway, and what poured through was all the visions of all the healing creations I needed to make. I felt myself in a blissful state creating them, completely guided as well. And then the artworks contained healing energy. I found that as I was showing people the artworks that I did, they were having profound effects of healing. Somebody actually saw one of my artworks online through Facebook or something, and reported immediately that their toe that they'd been trying to heal through all sorts of energetic healing works, alternative healing and medical healing, was immediately healed from just seeing that image online. I had a full-time multidimensional healing practice. One of the modalities that opened me up and that formed a very strong foundation for my healing and energy work was craniosacral therapy. And the main thing about that was that you tune in, you put your hands very gently on the body, you tune in and you listen to the rhythms of the system, and you can feel what's out of alignment. As you just listen, the body of the person and all the energy fields of the person to whatever level you're able to hold, and at this point I was able to hold multidimensional fields. The person's system would reorganize. It would notice where it was out of place, because just listening, you're reflecting it back. It realizes it's out of alignment, as if you would if you look in a mirror and see something's out of place. And then it will reorganize itself. So I found that technique at the foundation of everything that's coming through my healing. So profound listening brought in shifts. It brought in specific paintings that I'd already done energetically into the recipients. Without ever even seeing the painting, they would say, oh, I can see a white horse and it's got a crystal. Okay, they're pulling in that healing formula of that artwork into their sessions. I also had a healing table that you could put crystals in, and it had a sacred geometry which also had healing properties, the geometry itself. I would, at the beginning of a session, get them to choose one of the paintings, either one or more, and it would be either the ones they were drawn to or the ones that they had an aversion to. And we would bring those in and we would clear those energies that would go in the table. Then the healing would happen on the table. With this, I also developed the technique into using the paintings in conjunction with each other to unlock specific, even more complicated healing processes. So I could talk a lot more about that. There is a lot to say about how everything has developed and grown from that point, including downloading the ability to now attune others to this, and directly from my guides, and also bringing in the ability to write light language and things like that, which are more advanced techniques that you can learn further down the track. These workshops are more designed at an entry level to this work, or an intermediate level as standalone workshops. But the main thing for you to know is that when you're doing a workshop and you're working alongside me in the workshop, the space you're working from is a space that includes the energy and the light codes and the keys of all of that experience. And what you are creating in each workshop is your own healing tool that you will use according to your specific spiritual development, your specific healing gifts, and anybody that you might want to use them with. So you're developing your own personal healing tools for yourself and for others based on your specific soul blueprint, soul purpose, guides and experience. So just before I talk about the workshops, I want you to also understand a little bit about how the energies in the creations that you're going to be making have affected people and how they can be used. So some real life examples. I've already told you about the white horse here, the sanctity horse that clears negative energy and elevates the vibration to crystalline, how that healed somebody's toe. I also had an experience recently with some original art. I had created a piece whilst in conversation with a friend of mine, posted it to her as it was so relevant to her, and she had profound effects over 3 days where she was guided to sleep under it and lay under it most of the time, and had 3 days of healing and clearing occurring. So many things in her field from her childhood, raising and elevating her to love and self-love, and clearing out various traumas that were relevant to the process she was going through for 3 days. That's how powerful it can be if the person is extremely receptive and it's extremely relevant to them. The other painting there, called Listen, that is one where I went through an exercise where I wanted to tune into what does my energy field look like at that time. So I drew myself and I allowed the information to come through visually in colours. I drew wings on myself, which was guided. There were fairies putting information into my third eye. There were visions. There was an angel whispering into my ear. A few days after finishing that, I went to a psychic fair, had some aura photography done, and the aura photography actually showed those colours of my aura. It showed an angel in pink speaking into my ear. The person interpreting the aura photography did not know I'd painted that painting and actually interpreted it as an angel whispering in my ear. So that demonstrates quite well that the guided information coming through can be verified. These little examples also can show ways that you might use energy art in your life, how these workshops may lead you on to more learning, either through the teaching that I'm making available currently or through your own exploration. And it will go in a way that is unique to you. Your creations will be unique to you and to what your soul purpose is in this lifetime as well. So I'm going to leave it there for part 1 of energy art, what it is, how it became what it is, and what you will get from doing the short workshops. In the next section, we're going to talk about what level of artistic ability you need to have, what level of energy training and ability you need to have, how you prepare for a workshop, what you need practically and energetically to have in place before you start your workshop. So see you in the next one.